Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our reaction to The Circle, episode 7, that is just aired on Netflix. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this episode. We have trivia night.
And 2 new people.
Yes, 2 new people. A big twist when it comes to their little circle ceremony, if you want to call it that, at the end of the episode with the influencers. So the game is shifting, it's evolving. Also, we know that apparently there are all sorts of names that people can come up with for Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, did you know about Mike Jonas?
Yeah, that was quite possibly the greatest moment of this entire episode.
What was the other one? Steve Jonas?
Yeah.
That was absolutely the best.
Yeah, there's so many great moments in there. But before we talk about anything, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Let us begin, though, by introducing the 2 newest members of the Circle.
Yep.
We have first Sean, who is deciding she's actually going to play by her name, but she's going to play as her friend.
Yeah, so it feels a lot like the Karen catfish, where she's still going to be herself. She's just going to use another picture. Yeah,
she's going to use another picture, another personality. And, you know, this is the funny thing. I did not really like how Miranda entered the game at all. I really don't like how Alex is being Adam.
Yeah, but
I kind of like these 2.
Yeah, these 2 are coming across as genuine, and I think it's because they are being genuine. I know that Sean's using a different picture, but she's using her own personality. She's still being herself, and I think that's what sells the catfish a bit better. And with Bill, I mean, he's just being himself. And in this game, I wasn't sure if the flirting aspect and all that was really going to work out. I get why people think that that's how it's working, but it is not working like that at all. Yeah,
I just think owning yourself, showing your personality, it seems like that's really the way to go here more so than anything else.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's just talk about Bill. I like Bill a lot. Like, Bill, he actually just looks like, if I went into the dictionary and saw, like, guy from Chicago, it would give me a picture of Bill.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like Nick Miller from New Girl. He has, like, the little bit of the scruff. He has the sort of accent. I like that he has kind of, like, a normal job.
A little bit of crazy hair.
He
just seems like a genuinely cool guy to hang out with. Like, cool people will like him. Nerds will like him. He's just kind of a all-around general threat that needs to be kicked out of this game immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah, like he's already like, you know, throwing shade at people for posting like all the like workout pictures of themselves on social media. It just seems like he's just kind of a dude, which makes him kind of interesting as a casting for this show.
I liked also that he, like, called out that he kind of looks like Adam.
Yeah, because I know in our last video we were talking, like, is this actually Adam who's coming into the circle now, as opposed to the fake one?
Yeah, now that I've seen the pictures, no, but they do look similar.
Yeah, they do look really, really similar, and, I mean, maybe that's going to be an interesting source of conflict. I mean, I feel like there's a chance Bill could stick around for a while. I also feel, though, like the Circle threw these 2 a bone, and, like, instead of making them do anything, like, weird or shady or awkward, it was just like, hey, guys, who wants trivia night?
Yeah, they gave them a really sweet introduction into the group where they're going to be team captains. They're just going to have a lot of fun with everybody. Yeah. Miranda and Adam/Alex got really screwed that way, where they had to come into a group where everybody already knew each other and just basically slide into people's DMs and try to find a way to make a connection, where Bill and Sean are being given a connection, which this deep into the game, I mean, they kind of have to do that.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm all in on trivia night as a fun group activity.
I know you are. Love it.
As a former member of the College Bowl team, the NARF squad, and a former Who Wants to Be a Millionaire contestant. All right, I'm done with the
flexing.
Yeah, I'm not that good at flexing. I only got to 16,000 on Millionaire. Ain't that good?
Hey, you were still on it. That's a trivia flex.
But the thing is, I just think trivia can be really fun as long as everybody, you don't want to be that person who's like getting too much of a stickler or being a jerk when somebody doesn't get something, because I will admit, there was a part of this doesn't make me a know-it-all, but there's always that part of me where I'm like, really? Mike Jonas? Really? But, like, it's just sort of like, but it's one of those sort of things, like, when you get into the heat of the moment and something's on the line, and I know this from Millionaire, you forget everything that you once knew in your life, and you instantly become an idiot just dealing with that sort of pressure.
Well, and I kind of get it, too, because I'm not a big trivia person, but no one can know everything. No. So, when things are out of your timeline of you know, growing up and stuff, like if people were asking me about Billie Eilish, that's all I know about her is her name. I actually don't know anything about her. I don't know what she does. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything. So if there was some sort of question that was going to come up, me as an almost 45-year-old is going to have no idea what the deal is. So I get it that they might be looking at this. I think it was even Joey who was like, oh man, that was before my time. Like, I don't know. Or it's just not... It's hard when something is just not within your timeline of, you know, growing up.
The funniest part of this to me was, you know, you're seeing these people get these questions. And I looked at the teams at first because you had... You know, Team Bill, Team Sean. Yep. I thought on paper, I was like, okay, Team Bill, that looks like a pretty solid team. I mean, Shuby's going to know some stuff. Chris has, you know, been around the block. You know, Seaburn seems like a smart guy. They were all collectively so horrendous. Like,
oh, yeah, they were so bad.
I mean, it's one thing to miss a couple of questions, but it felt like they missed almost every single one. I mean, I'm sure there are ones that we didn't end up seeing or whatever.
Oh, yeah, but they got slaughtered. It was like 1 to 3 or 4 or something. It was pretty bad.
And this brings me back, though, to the Jonas Brothers part, which was just so funny because Chris... But, you know, I thought Chris was going to be kind of well-versed in pop culture. Chris already botches this with Steve Jonas. And then Seaburn is, like, shouting Mike as though Mike is the right answer. It's like, well, I'm glad. Well, it doesn't seem to matter who Bill would have picked because you guys would have all collectively screwed it up.
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of this episode. Yeah. That was such a good laugh.
And I might be wrong here, but I don't picture that, you know, Shuby was off somewhere, like, 10 years ago in the heyday of the Jonas Brothers listening to them either.
No.
So, you know, this team was just destined for all sorts of failure. But sometimes maybe the real failure... Well, I guess maybe their success amidst their failures, the friends they made along the way.
And that matters, too, because really the thing that Bill and Sean got out of this is that they got to know everybody in a really fun way. It was such an easy way to get them to bond with people that... As we started to get deeper into this episode, I was getting real worried, but, you know, I'm not going to be that sad to see Miranda or Adam end up going. Bill and Sean had such a leg up.
They did. They had an easy sort of advantage in how they entered the game.
Yeah.
And I think this all played out for them in a really fun way. The end result of this is Team Sean, they get a family message from home. The thing that I wonder about here, and I'm not trying to poo-poo the family message by any means. Like, let's make that clear.
You love to poo-poo the family message. I hear it all the time.
Okay. I don't
in every other reality show when people are like, hey, you get a family message. No, this is no good.
In Survivor, I would love the family visit, but it's also like I would not win the challenge because everyone is going to come for me for winning the challenge and not picking them.
I know your theory on it. But the thing about this is they did not know what the prize was going to be. So there was none of that tension to be like, oh my God, we need to get this family message.
Well, this is the part I just don't know. Like, how long does it take to film an episode? Because it feels like most of this stuff happens in a day. So, like, for example, let's say Seaburn has been in the circle for like 4 days. And it's just sort of like, you know, usually the family message makes sense if you've been, like, gone for 3 weeks or something. But it's 4 days, maybe.
It's true, but at the same time, you are really isolated.
It's true.
And, you know, we've both been in situations where you're by yourself for long stretches of time and you're not seeing anybody and you're not really chatting with anybody except online. It can get really stir crazy. Yeah. So even 4 days, 5 days, a week, and you haven't seen another human being, there's some cabin fever going on.
I think I'm just bitter because I didn't get to see Seaburn get a message from the actual Rebecca. Like, that would have been the best thing that this episode had given us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the real Rebecca. I hope that somewhere, if there's like a reunion or
Yeah.
something, that we get to see the real Rebecca, because she's been such a character on this show.
I feel for the real Rebecca, by the way, because everybody's going to assume that she's exactly like what Seaburn is presenting.
I don't think so.
But-
I don't.
But I don't know. Yeah, it was fine. It was a nice little thing. We got to see Joey and his mom, and
That was a nice
yeah.
moment. I also really liked learning about Sammy and what happened to her mom, and that her aunt raised her. That I already like Sammy. I've been in on Sammy though since the beginning, but the more I'm getting to know her, I can't help but love her more and more. I really just do.
Yeah, I think there was just a number of nice little sweet moments mixed in here. It was just it was a good little sort of way to calm a lot of the crazy that has happened on the Circle, and there will certainly be more. But we saw, before we even get to the influencers being chosen, a little bit more, a little bonding here or there. It
Yeah.
seems like Chris and Sean already kind of have a rapport that they struck up really, really fast.
I love that every single one of Chris's like super bonds is a catfish.
He's
But
so,
it's the same type of catfish though,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, the picture's not true, but the person behind the picture is true, because this feels like Sean. She hasn't been like, oh, I'm gonna make up a personality like Adam, who's, oh, I'm gonna be a bro dude. Okay, great. Sean just feels like Sean using her friend's picture. Karen is just Karen, really genuine, using someone else's picture. And that's why I think Chris is falling for these catfishes so easily, because there's still the person behind the picture is real.
I think another part of it is probably just sort of the fact that if you are somebody who's catfishing and Chris is sitting there being like, I'm an open book, then he's probably just like extra appealing, because in like the world of paranoia that is the Circle, it's like he can be the constant, he can be the thing you can rely upon. And that's a pretty good strategy on his part. I mean, granted, we did have people suspecting that he was a catfish already this season.
I do not know how Chris is still in this game, honest to God.
I don't know.
He would have been one of my first targets. But what's even more interesting about this game is that nobody seems to really be talking about the game in that way. There hasn't been a lot of people that have sat down with, say, even like a Chris and a Shuby, and start talking about it. Okay, we need to start breaking down. We're getting deeper into this game of who are the problems in this game. Like Chris, everybody likes him. This is a social game. It's all about who you like, who's going further. Or even people like Chris starting to kind of be like, you know, Shuby's been an influencer like a million times already. This guy's got to go. Like, where is that gameplay? I'm kind of waiting for it. We're getting to that point. It should be coming out.
I don't know if it's going to, and the reason why is I feel like in Big Brother, I mean, I know this is a comparison I use a lot, it's just the easiest one with this game, but it's like, you know, you and I, we can have a conversation, and I can look you in the eye, and I can sort of like gauge who you are, you know, your body language, all that sort of stuff. And in the Circle, you have nothing to go on other than what these people are saying. So if I was me, my paranoia would be so much worse that I couldn't trust anyone.
It's true, but there are people that have those bonds. Like, you know, Chris and Karen had that bond, and there wasn't a lot of that strategic gameplay going on. And Joey and Shuby have shown each other time and time and time again that they are true to each other. So I'm kind of surprised that conversation isn't going on, because yeah, there's paranoia, but they don't seem to have it.
The bummer here is, to me, is that they were chosen as the influencers in this episode, and I actually feel like there might have been an opportunity for that to happen when they were up there this time, because they had their close allies, they had a chance to make a big decision, but then of course, right before we get that, the Circle is like, no, not so fast, another twist is here.
Yep, and these are the types of twists that I really like.
Yeah, this one I'm fine with, because ultimately it feels similar enough to the central premise.
Of course, they're going to be saving people that they each get to save two people that they really want to save. So that was going to happen anyways, kind of thing, right? It's basically just the same thing reversed with the same result.
Yeah, it's not that different, but I think it's a fun exercise to sort of go through here and try to figure out, okay, what are these people ultimately going to do? Because here are their candidates. They have Chris, they have Rebecca, they have Sammy, and then they have Adam, and they have Miranda. They've got 5 different people to choose from because they can't get rid of Sean or Bill.
Yeah.
So what do you think what do you think Shuby's gonna do?
I think if he has a choice, he's going to save Rebecca and Sammy, and I think it's kind of a no-brainer for him. I think for who's really in trouble, I actually don't think Chris is in trouble because Joey and Shuby have both tried to, make a little bit of a bond with him, and Chris did give that whole Destiny's Child thing, but they didn't seem to really take it to mean that they're not working with him or they can't build something with him. So they're just not, they didn't pick up on it the way I thought they would or they should. The people that I think are really in trouble are Adam and Miranda, who have just played this game so bad and have done a terrible job making those connections. They both came in with the flirt game into a group of people that are not interested in playing that game.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think Chris is in trouble. I think it's between Chris and Adam, because I think that I think Joey, he has some sort of connection with Miranda. I don't think, based on how she was placed, because she was like at the bottom of the rankings, I don't think he's going to view her as a threat. So what I kind of think
I just don't think anybody has a connection with Adam at all.
I don't know, and I'm guessing this is how it's probably going to work, is that Shuby will get to save one person, then Joey will get to save one person, or vice versa. So let's say Shuby goes first, he saves Rebecca, and then Joey goes first, and he decides, okay, I'm going to save Sammy.
Yeah.
And then we'll see Shuby, he'll have to make a decision there. I don't think he'll save Miranda, and then I think Joey would save Miranda. So I think if Shuby...
Yeah, but I don't think Shuby's going to save Adam at all. They have no relationship. Yeah. So that would then be where he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to save Chris. Because I just think if either one of them is left in that position where there's two people left, and it's like an Adam and a Chris, why are you going to throw it to Adam unless you're thinking ahead a little bit where you're actually playing that game to be like, hey, Chris is a real threat. Nobody really likes Adam. We kind of saw this last week where Shuby and Sammy were talking a little bit about, maybe this is the time to keep Karen in the game, Mercedes in the game, because she's a really big threat. Well, not threat, but a shield. Because nobody likes her. So eventually she'll end up going.
I think you got to get rid of Chris here. I don't want to get rid of Chris.
I agree, but neither one of these two people have been talking that strategically, and Chris's name hasn't been really floated.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much stock in Shuby, because I feel like on some level, Shuby, he's got to know that it's possible Chris is going to come after him. I think you're probably right.
The real problem is they're not allowed to talk about it.
No.
So we've got two influencers who are allowed to each save two people, but they're not allowed to share what they're doing. So if it's neither one of them can say, don't save Chris. So if it is like that, oh, I'll save Rebecca. Oh, I'll save Sammy. Man, I don't know what Joey's going to do. So we both kind of like Chris, so I'll save Chris. And then he's going to be like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to save Miranda because I have a better relationship. I just think Adam's in trouble. Here's
I think the real difficult part of it. Do you make the move that's going to be the safe move that no one's going to get mad at? Because if you do get rid of Adam, I think the benefit to that is nobody's going to question you about it.
No.
They'll all be fine. You can kind of move forward. If you get rid of Chris, people are going to question you about it. Does this hurt your popularity with everyone else? Or does this actually give you a better chance to win? I think it's complicated.
It is complicated. And the fact that Shuby has won influencer so many times, I'm hoping that he is going to take that into account, that he is going to need to get rid of somebody popular, because I think he should know that people are going to come for him next. Because if I was an influencer and Shuby was not up next, Shuby's going home. I promise you he's going home.
Yeah, he's got too much power. He's flown too close to the sun.
He's too likable. He's too genuine. He's made some great connections. He's playing the game well. He is the threat to win. Shuby gotta go.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Shuby. You can go back. You can watch all the Marvel movies you want. You'll be okay. We'll all still like you after the fact, but I'll feel sad when Shuby leaves. But anyway.
Oh, me too.
All right, we'll conclude this video, but let's ask you guys, what did you think about The Circle, Episode 7? What's your take on Bill, on Sean? Who are you rooting for? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.